And we are back. I am the alpha male. These are the Betamax. And we're going A through Z. Now, do you have any guesses on what the first movie is? Well, you're right. It's Alexander the Great. Richard Burton, Frederick Marsh, Claire Bloom. I never heard of this version of it. Certainly I've heard of Alexander. Boink. Oh, fancy box. Who do they got there? Richard Burton. Anybody I know besides Richard Burton? Peter Cushing. That's Grand Moff Tarkin on Star Wars, who refused to leave as the Death Star was blowing up. Tape looks like it's in good condition. I mean, how many times does somebody watch this, right? That's sort of what happens. This one is a private collection. We watch it once, maybe twice. Black and white. Yeah. I don't think I'll be watching this. Anyways, no point in reading that because you know who Alexander the Great was. And here's a weird one. Honey Boy. Now, I know I've shown the box on a live stream before, but I thought it'd be better if you could just really see it. So, I'm trying to catch the angle of this. Is that straight? Is that straight? I'm trying to look at the horizon, but everything covers it up. See, that looks correct to me, but when I look here, it's sideways. So, you're going to have to go with my crooked head, I guess. There's Honey Boy, Eric Estrada, and Morgan Fairchild. Now, come on. If you were around during this period, these two were ever, there she is, right there. Morgan Fairchild. Eric Estrada. Oh, this was opened, huh? Okay, let's see what this movie's about first. The media made him a star. Now he's got to prove himself. All right, Chip star. They hit Chips right away, don't they? Chip star Eric Estrada teamed with TV's reigning sex symbol Morgan Fairchild for the knockout story of boxing, ambition, and betrayal. Now, sex symbol? I don't ever remember her being a sex symbol, but she might have been before my time, before I started plugging in. But this says 82. I just remember she kind of talked like this, like, this shit don't stink. So, you know? I don't know. That's not very sexy. Estrada plays a young fighter from the South Bronx, sure he does, discovered by a Madison Avenue promoter who intends to make him a boxing superstar, which, Honey Boy learns, demands as much on media hype as on fighting talent. I'm going to say fighting talent has got to be the lion's share of that. I understand the importance of promotion, but the guy's throwing punches at your face. You better have some talent there. Oh, and he's falling for the beautiful publicist, which is Fairchild. As Honey Boy becomes a media star, he starts to lose sight of who he really is and what he really wants. Meanwhile, his promoters have been setting him up for one easy win after another and getting ready for the big payoff when they'll sacrifice him in a no-chance fight. What? The promoters and managers just want money? I can't believe this movie. Honey Boy has some of the best fight scenes in years. Okay. Now this is after Rocky, and I'm not 100% sure when Rocky 3 came out. It was around this time. Maybe it was already out. I mean, this is clearly a Rocky copycat to some degree. Some of the best boxing scenes. I mean, those Rocky ones were, you know what I mean? And yeah, Rocky 3. Look at that. So they have seen Rocky 3 at this point to put this on the thing. Was this a TV movie? I wonder about that. And on a TV budget, they have some of the best fighting scenes since Rocky and Raging Bull. There's a lot of hype going on here, bro. Talk about media and hype. Oh, now look at this. Look at that. Now that tells me rental. Right? Unless some guy had some elaborate home system. see why that's weakening. Very hard to get this out of here. Oh yeah, we got one of these fun cases. Look at that. Honey Boy. So that tells me it's probably a studio. There's Honey Boy. Oh wait, not much fanfare in here. Yeah, look at that. Now if that ain't a rental, I'm your Uncle Susan. There you go. And what's it look like? Looks like there used to be a factory sticker there. I mean, look at this thing. I got a feeling that thing was unplayed. I gotta check that out. That's fun. Now, excuse here, look at this one while I'm putting Honey Boy away for 10 minutes. Come on, Alice. There you go. Alice in Wonderland, Disney cartoon. I don't have to tell you about that, do I? I mean, that's pretty obvious, so we'll just look at the pretty pictures. Nice job on the cover on this, actually. I like this. There's the Disney home video. There's the back. We all know, head tripper. Alice in Wonderland has been told to death. Color beta video cassette. This is when they really didn't want to do home video either. You know, there were people in the company that were like, if we put out home videos and people have the tape in their home, we're never going to be able to re-release this in theaters and collect a big pile of money. That's what they used to do. They used to re-release these things like every 5 years, and they had all of those animated films, so they constantly had a movie out, an old movie, and just soaking up the dollars. You know, I want to say this isn't a rental, but then, it's probably the glue. I don't know. I don't see anything on here that says rental. I don't know. There should be some sign that this was a rental, right? I don't see it. So maybe this one slipped through the cracks. Alice in Wonderland, a name you know. There's another big giant Gordo, The Awakening. Charlton Heston was in 1 of every 3 movies during this time period, so here he is again. It's funny how Hollywood works, right? Oh, rental. Some people just constantly, the same people over and over and over. Who do we got here? Charlton Heston, I don't know, Susan York, Jill Townsend, Stephanie Zimbalist, I absolutely know. She was Remington Steele, the real Remington Steele. Not Pierce Brosnan when he came in as a figurehead. She was Remington Steele. I'm looking at these names here. I'm just not. Ian McDermott, he's the Emperor. A lot of Star Wars, huh? Roger Kemp. Yeah, so this, to me, absolutely screams rental. I don't know how this box is in such good condition, considering that fact. Another there. That really can't go in either way on this, just a hole? Guess not. This thread here is weakened. Thread, clasp, whatever you want to call it. I do like the Warner Brothers sort of a sticker situation going on here. I don't know what that is. We could flip it over and see. No, just a petrified piece of tape. We'll never know what that said. Maybe it was a number. I don't know. All right, what is this about? Well, let me show it real quick just so you can see there's nothing hiding there at the bottom. Fancy box, though. I will give them that. Do not approach the nameless one. Oh, I can't read it in this light. Test your soul be withered. Okay, so that's funny talk. I don't know. The nameless one must not live again. Oh, so it's some kind of like omen thing. A fearful curse is carved on stone that has not seen the light of day for more than 30 centuries. But Egyptologist, Andrew Corbeck plunges ahead, opening the untouched royal tomb filled with treasure. So it's the mummy. and releasing the something spirit of an ancient evil into the modern world. So it's the Mummy. All right. There you like the Mummy? Here's your Mummy ripoff. And you can sort of get that it's a ripoff just by it. Look at the photo they chose, and I don't know, maybe that's good. Who knows? Quintessential 10. I think I showed this before, didn't I? I don't remember. Who cares, right? It's on the video, so who cares if I saw it? Bo Derek splashes onto the scene in 10. Dudley Moore. Speaking of people who just keep reoccurring. There she is. She even gets... I mean, where's Dudley Moore, right? There he is. I'll show the bottom there. I never know what this movie's about. Spicy new comedy of... Does that say manners, morals, and midlife crises? You're in luck. On a laughter scale from 1 to 10, this is a 10. All right. 42-year-old popular composer named George Weber, the man who has everything and nearly loses it all in a distractingly abusive quest for a beautiful woman he glimpses from his Rolls Royce. So this is definitely like a Hollywood story, right? It's probably, I've told this before. I think all of these movies are based on Blake Edwards. And you know how Hollywood is, right? So probably the less said, the better. Probably the guy's trying to justify what shenanigans he's pulling. But I'd watch it just because of Dudley Moore. Of course, it only goes in one way, and not once in the history of life have I put it in the right way. And here's something interesting to me, because I've never heard of it. Heart Like a Wheel. Now, is that not a title? Right? This one's been butchered, by the way. You can see it's been cut to fit this cheese box. So it's definitely a rental. And it's a VHS. What in the hell is this doing here? You hear me, Jorsky? Yeah, VHS, written VHS everywhere. How did that get in the pile even? Gosh. Where am I? I'm going to try these glasses. Maybe that'll help. It's a combination of I can't see and low light. Oh, that does help. Speeding along on her daddy's lap in his 1946 Cadillac, little Shirley knew she was born to race, but little girls grow up to be women. No shit. And women have no place in the macho world of hot rod racing. So lame. Until Shirley Muldowney came to conquer. Bonnie Bedelia. Now, where do we know Bonnie Bedelia? She is the wife of Die Hard. Right? Remember, she's the tough wife. Nakatomi Plaza. Keeps everything together until the bad guy figures out who she is, and then they got a problem. So she's good. Muldowney in Heart Like a Will, a film that explores love and rivalry against the exciting backdrop of drag racing. Beau Bridges, of course you know Beau Bridges. He's been in a lot of stuff, but I know him from Fabulous Baker Boys and brother to Jeff Bridges. Plays another actual hero of that world. Shirley's companion and competitor, racer. Does that say Connie? Catalina? There's two chicks? Oh, my comprehension is low. Heart Like a Wheel explores their rivalry and much more. Spanning 25 years of Shirley Muldowney's life, the film takes us through her childhood as a daughter of a country western singer, a doomed marriage to an auto mechanic, and finally her tumultuous rise to the top of the drag race. Top of drag racing. Through marriage, motherhood, and competition, it's the story of a real woman overcoming real problems, and that woman is a person you will never forget. So this is a real movie, or based on a real movie. Look at that ticket price, $57 for this. You know, this is back in, what, 1980? Oh, 1983, that's a little bit later. Let's see. Well, that don't look like a VHS tape to me, sir. that's got beta written all over it. And not only that, I can see why somebody probably thought this was a VHS because of the double window. And they were blind because there's a sticker that says beta on it. Maybe they lost the eye. Who knows? But here is the rarefied 2-window, and it's definitely a Betamax, so you can stay with us. Now, why I opened the door and you just left town, I don't know. All right, a breed apart. Okay? Never heard of it. HBO video, Thornium. I wonder if this was a Canon. When we flip it over, we'll see. Rutger Hauer off of Blade Runner. Kathleen Turner. Body Heat. War of the Roses. Romancing the Stone. Peggy Sue Got Married. I mean, you all know Kathleen Turner. Powers Booth. Now, I don't know if I could point to a movie he's in, but he was in a ton of stuff. And I think he was on Deadwood. Excuse me. I need a cough button. And Donald Pleasance, you know, from Halloween and Bridge Over the River Kwai and stuff like that. So it's ow. Off of me. I don't see Cannon's name anywhere. Why does that look sideways? Let's see what that says. Dramatic and emotional tale of romance, mystery, action, and adventure that combine for an unforgettable experience. The all-star cast includes Rutger Hauer, Blade Runner Nighthawks, The Osterman Weekend, I don't know that one, Kathleen Turner, Body Heat, Romancing the Stone, so this must have been later. Powers Booth, Emerald Forest, Southern Comfort. I haven't seen Southern Comfort. They released a disc not too long ago, but the price was insane, so I still haven't seen it. And Donald Pleasance, Escape from New York, I forgot about that. In the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, a pair of nesting eagles, believed to be the last of a dying breed, are in danger of extinction. A mysterious recluse, fiercely dedicated to protecting the eagles, and a young woman with whom he has a liaison, meet up with a likable but scheming adventurer who has been hired by a billionaire collector to steal the eggs. The result is an action-packed movie with a stirring emotional appeal. This almost feels like a derivative of Romancing the Stone. And if I'm reading my Roman numerals right down here, this was 1984. I'll check. I've never heard of that. I would check that out. Now that looks like definitely a rental, which I didn't see anything from around this. But look who's there. Our old friend, Fayetteville, I bet, right? Oh, it's upside down. Oh, there it is, Fayetteville. And this is when the guy just had one store. Or, I don't know. Could you call me Fayetteville guy? Some of these you have one store, some of you have two. 85 is pretty late. So did you have the store before then? Did it go bankrupt, or that was later? What happened, sir? Breed apart. And we're down to the last two. Here we go. These are kind of ugly because they don't have a box. Adam's Rib. Heard of this movie. Don't know what it's about. I do know they wanted $50 if you messed with it. Music Plus. Terrible condition on that Music Plus. That is my handwriting, so I did that. Adam's Rib. Oh, what do we got here? Got some stickies in here. Look at that. 4101.2. Were they using the Dewey Decimal System? With their own hybrid of it? Black and white Adam's Rib. What year is this? 49? Renewed in 76? Okay. So, as you're seeing, this is probably the last time it's going to be seen by a human. I'm not watching that. Sorry. But please rewind the cassette. And the final one. Now, if you don't know this, where you been? And by the way, I say that, and I don't think I've seen the full movie of this. Here we go. Born on the 4th of July. Something fell over there. Olmar Home Video. So was this a Music Plus? It looks like this was a Music Plus also. Look at that yellowing of that. I wonder if it stinks. No, I'm not getting a tobacco smell off of it. But it's yellow in there. Look at cracked tape over it. So Born on the 4th of July was a huge movie at this time. So I'm thinking this got rented into oblivion. Be interesting to see if this thing even plays. It's not even fully rewound. I'm not seeing any mold or anything, but listen, it sure looks like it's been through the mill. Man, to get you. So there you go. Born on the 4th of July. That's the end of this video. I'm so appreciative that you made it to the end and you watched these videos. And I'll do more because I'm already looking at another stack over there. Thank you. Bye-bye.